Now, and simmering differences between Congress-DMK and DMK in Puducherry have come to the fore after DMK skipped the assembly session today when the ruling Congress government was slated to pass important resolutions related to demand of full statehood and farm laws. In fact, a video has surfaced of the Deputy Speaker accusing the government of inefficiency. In fact, as we can see that there has been a quite tension. There was also AIA-DMK which protested outside the assembly session today over this issue, essentially asking that the government should now, in a way, prove their majority. So with the tensions between the allies in Puducherry also, there you can see that the seats are almost empty at the assembly in Puducherry as the DMK in fact skipped the assembly session. And on a day, remember that there were important resolutions meant to be introduced in the assembly today, but DMK MLAs completely skipped the session, leaving the Congress in a lurch, which was planning to introduce resolutions related to demand of full statehood and farm laws, but there were hardly any DMK members in the assembly session today. DMK, it's all, Mugilan, if I can go to you, it's all out in the open between DMK and the Congress in Puducherry, where we can see that the chairs were largely empty in the assembly session, with DMK MLAs skipping the assembly session on a very important day when the Congress allies were actually counting on them. And on the other hand, we can see AIA-DMK is taking advantage of this situation and asking the government to prove its majority.
Definitely, yes. The opposition bench and chairs of DMK MLAs have completely gone empty. DMK today chose to skip the important assembly proceedings, whereas AIA-DMK is staging protest against the against the Puducherry government, asking them to prove their majority. These proceedings were well informed to the alliance partners, that is DMK, and this being a very important resolution also because two important resolutions. One is seeking full statehood for Puducherry, and another is demanding the central government to withdraw the farm laws. But today DMK skipped the assembly proceedings and they are holding a meeting in Puducherry because DMK MP Jagat Rachagan has been given in charge of Puducherry. Now he is holding meeting with the DMK functionaries and the other MLAs about the future course of their alliance with Congress, because this is not the first time we are saying that the DMK is skipping an important proceedings. Earlier, when Chief Minister Narayanasamy held a protest outside Raj Bhavan, DMK refused to participate. That was a 3-day continuous protest. DMK didn't participate in that protest, but they have just extended a support by issuing statement. And very recently, there are several banners which have come up in Puducherry stating that DMK will be heading the alliance in Puducherry, and it will be the DMK which will head the government also. So definitely a resentment between Congress and the DMK is quite out in open. DMK is also trying to rework their election equation. And we already know that there are several disgruntled MLAs and other party functionaries in Congress also. They also trying to switch camps when important BJP leaders come to Puducherry is what we getting to hear. Definitely the equations well inside the Congress is also not favorable to make any patch up with DMK. Yesterday, Tamil Nadu Congress Committee President Alagiri was in Puducherry when the same question was asked to him regarding the resentment between DMK and Congress. He refused to comment, but he acknowledged that there are differences between DMK and Congress in Puducherry, but that issue have to be sorted by the Puducherry Congress Committee and Puducherry DMK leadership. So here Tamil Nadu Congress Committee has distanced themselves from the problem what happening in Puducherry. So now everything is left to Puducherry Chief Minister Narayanasamy to sort out the issue between Congress and DMK, but DMK very clearly trying to distance itself from Congress right ahead of the assembly elections.
Right, Mugilan, thank you so much for joining us with that understanding of what exactly is happening in Puducherry and the fact that the cracks between the allies in Puducherry are clearly out in the open. Thank you so much for joining us with that.